What's up, SP? How you doing? About to get started in a minute. What's up, Tim? How you doing? What's up, good people? Drop a couple gems on you guys. Hopefully get you guys thinking today. We're going to be kind of brief. I'm still on vacation with my fam. This is the last day here, so try to spend a little bit more time with them. But I'm actually going to drop this gem on you guys. Give me a sec. I'm going to give the people a couple more seconds, and I'm going to do my introduction for those that don't know me. My name is Frank Financial Brown. I'm the founder of Live Free, Give Hope real estate giveaway company. You guys may have seen sweepstakes and so forth. I saw that idea and it just resonated with me. I named this live Faith Without Works is Dead, but it's really about, you guys may have heard that I'm not here to preach or anything, but it's about before faith without works, you have faith that sparks possibility. Let me read this to you guys real quick. Faith sparks possibility. This is lesson 1. I'm working on it right now. Faith sparks possibility. Faith shows you what could be. Mindset gives you the courage to try. Now, I'm not a religious guy, so you guys will hear me talking about faith, but until recently, I thought that was just mindset. I just thought that the reason that I accomplished certain things was because my mindset. I didn't realize that I had to have the faith, the belief. I just always thought I was crazy. I thought, okay, everybody else says it can't be done, but I say it can, so I go after it. But recently I found this out. I found the difference between just having the mindset and having the faith. Faith is that spark, that possibility. And that's where Live Free, Give Hope comes from. If you guys have heard me speak a few times, like I said, I'm not a religious person, but I was dropping my son off. I'm up in Baltimore or in DC at the Spy Museum having lunch. And it seems like all signs, I didn't know it at the time, but it seems like all signs were pointing to this giveaway. Things that were happening in my life, the changes, the ups and the downs, and the giveaways. I don't play the lottery, guys. I never thought that I was a winner like that. Like I could enter something and win, even though when I was in the Army, I did win season tickets to I was stationed in Wichita Falls. That's the Air Force base. I won some tickets to a basketball game, season tickets. But where I was going with that is that there was a giveaway. It popped up. I'm a new motorcycle guy. There was a BMW 1350, a GS, a motorcycle that I want. Faith is trusting what you don't see or know you just believe. That's what I didn't know. I thought that was just a certain mindset. I thought that what we know as faith is a mindset because, like I told you guys, I'm not a religious person. I did grow up from the ages of 12 to 17 as a Jehovah's Witness. And for a child to be, I'm going to say forced, you follow your parents, for a child to be forced to be a Jehovah's Witness or a certain religion. And then I told you guys I joined the military. The military says you cannot, the Jehovah's Witnesses says that you cannot join the military. It's against their beliefs. So me doing that and seeing my mom change from a Jehovah's Witness into something else, it really just turned me off of religion completely. So I always believed that what was going on was my relationship, my spiritual relationship, but just having the mindset, just having the mindset of going after this. I didn't realize that, and I'm going to use Live Free. Live Free was based on faith. Guys, right now, this thing, I believe that it's going to make it. I'm going to get into today's lesson, but it really starts right here. I have the faith that we have something everybody in the world may not want it. Everybody, it may be a bad idea to 90% of the people, but I know there's enough people in the United States. I know we're just starting here in Atlanta. Now you can be anywhere. Let me say you can be anywhere in the United States except for you can't be a resident of Florida and you cannot be a resident of New York. And that's only for this giveaway. I would have had to pay more money to the attorneys to have Florida and New York in. And this is the first one, guys. So I didn't know what to expect. Of course, I had faith that this thing was going to take off. Now, it hasn't taken off, but I still have the faith that for the long term, if I do what I'm supposed to do, me and my family and the support of you guys, we're going to be good. That's the faith. That's the faith, right? The belief, knowing that we're going to get there. Now, this is where I come in, where I've been teaching, and this is where I'm going to say the results, the mindset. I've been going live every day. It's the mindset. Do I like doing all these posts and all that? I like speaking to you guys. But when I say that the work that's required for Live Free, Give Hope to continue, the work that I have to do it's the mindset. It's the mindset. I'm going to go ahead and share some numbers with you guys so you can know what I'm talking about. Facebook is talking about 65 posts a week. 65 reels. Instagram is asking for the same type of thing. And guys, that's still no numbers. If you're into to building your social media following or marketing online, being an influencer, not sure if you guys heard of Patrick Hermosi and these different individuals, the amount of content that you have to put out, unless you just happen to go viral, I don't believe in that. I believe in the hard work. So I believe if these guys tell me I need to put out 100 posts a week, I believe that's 300 for me. I believe if they tell me I need 100 a week, that's 300. So I have to get back into the mindset that I've been telling my children. This is kind of like I'm happy about this part of my life because for the last 20 years, I've been just telling my children what to do. I have been doing my thing, guys, but I have not been kicking ass the way I've been preaching. This right here, the mindset part that I'm going to have to go back to that dog. This is a sport. And I'm saying this for any of you guys that really want to be successful. And I'm telling you from my experience right now, for the last 3 weeks, Facebook told me I failed. Just on the amount of posts. And you guys see how much I've been putting out there. Facebook told me I failed. But in my mind, in order to have success, what I've told my children, we have to work 3 times as hard as everybody. So if Facebook says 65 posts a week, I know that means 180, 195 for me. Where I'm going with this, guys, if you're following this channel, the Live Free, the opportunity that we're providing, and if you win, and even if you don't win, the reason I have a 6-unit apartment building that I can give away is because of this mindset. Because I believe in going that hard. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I just said, I don't feel like I've gone that hard over these past 20 years since I've been raising my children. Now, I've done my thing, but it's different when for you guys who don't have children. The hustle is different when you don't have children. I'm back to the place where I don't have children. They're all here in college. So I plan on busting my ass, and let me bring it back to the front. The faith, I didn't know about that part. But now I realize that it's not just the mindset. The mindset provides the work. The faith is that possibility. The faith is believing and not to give up. Because even though I'm paying for ads and I'm shooting this stuff, the results, it is what it is, guys. And what I do to remind myself, and you find something for you. I'm watching television right now. Let's say Budweiser still advertises. The lottery, the Mega Millions, who gives away millions and billions of dollars, they advertise. There's a company called Vibe. I just started advertising with them this morning, but they have an ad that says we spent $414,000 just to tell you that we're selling TV ads for $50 a day. It helps me put things in perspective. The mindset, it keeps it in perspective. The faith lets me know that there's 1,000 people out here that will support. 1,000 people. Just in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, there's 6.6 million people. So I have the faith that Live Free, Give Hope's going to make it. Let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit more of this excerpt. Let me see. Okay. This is for you guys. So the lesson was faith sparks possibility. Faith shows you what could be. Mindset gives you the courage to try. This is the reflection. What's one idea you've been doubting that might just need a little faith to test? Say that again. What's one idea you've been doubting that might just need a little faith to test? Guys, this is real time. This is real time real estate investing. This is real time business making. Live Free. You guys are right here from the beginning. It just started. This is our first giveaway. Only time will tell. But I'm asking you guys, let me go ahead and read it one more time. What's one idea? Because this is what I'm here for. I promise you guys, this is not just about one person winning. This is about thousands of people winning. But if I can drop these gems, just things that I've picked up over time, that's helped me. But what's one idea you've been doubting that might just need a little faith to test? I think that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to leave that with you guys today. Go over and beyond. The amount of work that's required. I know it looks like people are getting rich easy and doing this kind of stuff. Even winning the apartment will be a blessing, and somebody will be able to take this opportunity to elevate, but the work that's still going to be required. Living rent free is a stepping stone, but the work that's going to be required. I just said a couple days ago that, if I was to win, if I was the winner, I would make myself famous. That is no easy task. Even being the only person to win free rent for a year furnished with utilities in Atlanta, it still will be a task. But if you guys are rocking with me, I'm starting a business right now. Maybe this is the time for you to start a business right now. Maybe we can hold each other accountable. I can share how hard, what's required on my point. I've been letting everybody know, I'm not a gatekeeper. I give up the info. There's no scarcity, but, guys, I'm doing this alone. Me and my family. So if you're going through something, if you're building a business, if you have ideas and you need somebody to bounce them off of, we're here. We're here. This is real time. I'm loving it. It's more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But everything is difficult. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're trying to accomplish anything, it's difficult. You may see, I was just looking at a Jeff Bezos quote, and you guys probably have heard this. Every overnight success took 10 years. I couldn't imagine where Live Free will be in 10 years. Can you guys? I could imagine. We were walking around having lunch yesterday, and I'm looking at these buildings, and the buildings have the names on the side of them. In 10 years, I could easily see Live Free on the side of a building, housing people. My next post to go out is going to say simply what the goal is, and that's to change the world. Simple and plain. I have heard people, some of the successful people, they say they didn't start off. Now, I'm sure this ain't all of them, because there are those who start off with the mission, with this goal. But some say their intent wasn't to change the world. I'm letting you guys know right off the top, my intention is to change the world. I want to show my children I can change the world. I want them to be a part of changing the world. I want you guys to be a part of this world that's being changed. I want you guys to know that you guys right here on the ground floor of this change. You guys can be a part of this change. You can support this change. And let's talk about the ways you can support. The easiest thing you can do is share this. Even if you don't enter, you can still share it. You can share it with someone. You know, what's going on, loving my children? How you doing? We're just sitting here talking about faith, you know, sparking possibility. I just created this company, Live Free, Give Hope. I've been a traditional real estate investor for about 20 years, but now I decided I'm going to start doing giveaways for my property. Could it all go bad and I lose it? Yes, it could, but I have the faith that it's not. I have the faith that our society can sustain a business model like this. Our society can say, okay, we can support 1,000 people can support one person living rent free. If 1,000 people bought a T-shirt, you know, a teddy bear, a dang on a mug, we could house people. Now, I'm not saying we house everybody in the world, but I'm saying there's people need this opportunity. I told you guys the other day, my mom had me when she was 15 years old. If she would have, now she's too young for our thing because you got to be 18 plus. But let's say she was 18, an 18-year-old with a brand new newborn and no support. Oh, this is an alley-oop right here. You know, and it doesn't just have to be that. You know, it could be it. I designed this giveaway so that anybody, homeless, you can enter 600 entries for free. Balling, you can get 600 entries for free. Balling, you can pay $600 in merch and get 600 entries. If you're balling, can you come in here and buy the whole giveaway? No, you cannot. I limit it to 600 entries per person, regardless if you get them for free, regardless if you pay for them. Why? Because I want things to be fair. And I don't even believe that life is fair. But I know when I created this opportunity, I sat down and figured out, and I used AI, and I said, hey, what's the way we can make this the fairest? You know, the fairest. That's why you can mail in and get all your entries for free. Now, there is a limited time on the mail-ins, but it's up to the day before it closes, because they got to get you guys' mail-ins are going out to the attorneys or the sweepstakes company, and they have to go through them and then tally them and do everything that they do. So that's why it has to be in. But you got all the way up till December 24th to get your entries in. I created this for everybody, you know, for everybody. And what I see, my faith, it's beautiful to see what could be. You know, I know everybody's vision is different, and some of you guys have seen the vision. How are you? Oh, okay, so you have to buy. No, you do not have to buy merch. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can have $0. Now, how do you get your entries and you don't buy merch? It's all in the official rules, but I'm going to tell you, and I've done videos on this. You do a mail-in. You put your name, the info, your address. There's some info. Look in the official rules that you have to mail in. You get 25 entries per mail-in. Now, you only get one mail-in per day. So that means you only can get 25 free entries a day. But so this is the math on it. If you get 25 entries for 24 days, that's 600. You guys follow me? So that's if you wanted all 600 for free. You know, the only thing, and I did a whole video on this, if you have no money for postage, what I would do. If I had $0, I tell you what I would do. You know, I would have somebody mail them. I would do whatever's required. It just depends on where you are. Or it's 61 cents. I Googled this. I found out how much it was to mail something where I could get the envelopes for the cheapest. Let me see. Also, when you put in the entry, you put in your story, or how do you guys go about picking the people? Okay. So this is also done by a sweepstakes company. It's a company I use called Viral Sweep. We pay them. They have software. They're professionals. They do this with all of the big boys. It's a randomly selected computer generated thing. It is not Franklin Brown pulling anything out. I do not pull any names. It's and then the computer generates it. The only thing I will do is see what's computer generated, and I will read that out. I will be right here on Instagram. I'll hit the button at 7 o'clock. I believe it'll be 7. We'll find out the exact time. And then it will randomly select a name, and then I will announce who that person is on New Year's Eve. And guess what, guys? With the faith that I have, the next unit, so the unit that we're giving away is the unit upstairs. The next unit we will give away 2 months later, at max 3 months later. But the goal is to give away 1 unit every 2 months. It's a 6-unit apartment building. So if we can give away 1 every 2 months, we can have people coming and coming. But right now, of course, we have to do we have to start with 1. We have to start with 1. And with enough support, we will be able to do them all. I have the faith that the support will be there, so I'm in it for the long term. That's why I told you guys I'm selling properties so I can make sure that the capital is still here to sustain until this business model takes off. So yes, you can enter for free. The merch is to keep the mission going. So you guys, if you had received any kind of correspondence from me, you'll see I'll tell you about the free entries, but I'll also ask you if you can buy a mug for $16. Like I said, $16 mug. Well, because I'm working with a company and like half of that is theirs, it will be, until we grow, things will be tough. But that's why I'm selling properties. And that's why you got to have the faith and the mindset to know this will work. Everything I've done so far in real estate, most people don't do because they're scared. Even this right here. My daughter asked me, why am I the only person doing this? Well, I'm sure I typed it into, it wasn't chat, but I typed it into one of the AIs. Oh, Perplexity. And Perplexity was like, it's too tough. It's too risky. It's too this. It's too that. But like I tell my daughter, what other people consider risky, we consider routine. There's just a learning curve. She's a tennis player, and some of the things that she does, which is amazing, when she was a little girl, they was like, oh, that's too risky. That's too risky. Well, now she's in college killing them, and it's routine. Okay. It'd be cool if you go off their life story, but I definitely understand must be a lot of people putting it in. Let me tell you, if we went off life stories, it's tough. I get so many stories each day. I don't know how my wife works in this field, but let's say I get 100, I reach out to about 100 people a day, and out of those 100, at least 25% are homeless. Then it's 50, 60. It's America. You know what I'm saying? You can look at our population. But imagine having contact with this population every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day, 100 times a day. I'll be honest with you guys. I got to breathe. When I read some of these things, it just breaks my heart. I'm like, Lord, have mercy. And that's what makes me say, okay, I got to get up and say more. I got to make sure that everybody knows this, because the more people that knows this, when it's on the news, when the media is talking about it, when it goes viral, then of course more people can be housed. We can have, see these buildings? You see these buildings? I'm here in DC. There's thousands of people. There's thousands of people just right here. So there can come a time where these are all winners. We will have enough units. So I follow giveaways, guys. I follow giveaways, and there's a truck company, there's car companies. Sometimes they're giving away 2 cars a week. They're giving away $200,000 worth of cars plus $50,000 cash. If they can do that with vehicles, we can do that with housing. The goal in my mind, the first goal, of course, get this thing rolling, but I would love to do 100 homes a year. 100 homes a year. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's a small apartment complex. That's us going and renovating a old building, maybe an old warehouse and putting in 50 2-bedroom, 1 baths. This can be done. But of course, like you guys heard of the Red Cross and all these other organizations, they don't run for free, guys. Now, I'm not trying to say, hey, everybody has to buy. That's why I made it so if you have nothing, you can get all 600 entries. When I get back home, I'm going to put these keys on there. I think we can do those for $5 and whatever I find out the shipping cost is. So trying to do something for everybody. Now, what I was reading earlier was out of the ebook that I wrote. So the ebook that I wrote, the Live Free, Give Hope Blueprint, I put it on the site. $10, no shipping cost. So you're in and out for $10. I also put the ebook on there that if you buy anything, you buy a mug, you can get the ebook for free. Anything. I think the mug is the most affordable item we have at $16 besides the ebook. When I get home, I'm going to put the keys on there, the keys of hope. Guys, if you have a different mindset, I'm not calling anybody out who doesn't have this mindset, but I developed this later in life to where I realized, because I was taught everything that you guys were taught, like hard work pays off. I never believed that. When I went to school, I was not a hard worker. When I worked at Taco Bell, I told you guys I made minimum wage, so I was doing minimum work. I didn't realize hard work until I went into the military. And who knows, if I wouldn't have went into the military, who knows, But once I realized that, then I started applying it to everything. So if we're going to be vibing together and so forth, one thing that I want to impress upon you guys is that, it's really a mindset. It starts with the faith. I'm learning that it starts with the faith. I thought it was all mindset, but you got to have faith. I'll tell you guys, I'm going to be so honest that I know I have more faith in Live Free, Give Hope, and as well as should be, than anybody I know. I told my family, friends, everybody about Live Free, Give Hope. Some of them look at me like I'm crazy. Some of them are in it. Some of them on the thing, but me, I told my wife, if this doesn't work, I don't even know what my purpose would be. I know it has to work. I know I will keep going. I will sell everything I have. I told her the other day, I'll go back to sleeping in my car. I will go back to sleeping in my car. She told me, she said, hey, we too old for that. I said, that's why we got to make it work. That's why we got to do our part. That's why Facebook said we failed because we didn't do enough marketing the last 3 weeks. We got to step it up, so some of you guys may get tired of seeing the posts, but they are about to come nonstop. Hopefully, if you're doing whatever business you have that same mindset that the big guys, McDonald's still spends millions of dollars on television ads. The NFL spends millions of dollars on television ads. Anything that you're probably wearing or buying, I just saw Walmart. They bought the Black Friday news special. They paid for that so they can get in there and advertise. Walmart still advertises. So what does that tell you? You need to be advertising if you're doing this. And last thing before I go, the winner, whoever wins this giveaway. Yes, we will talk about business opportunities that you can do. We talked about starting a janitorial franchise. We skimmed over a lawn company. We talked about going to school. We talked about, did we say joining the military, like National Guard, Reserve? We spoke about that. But the one thing that I've been learning since I started Live Free is that these people